Welcome. I'm Marianne Saylor, Director of the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Today's training will orient you to the new look and feel of the WCAIS screens, which have undergone digital transformation. In 2020, the Bureau began the WCAIS Digital Transformation Project to update the technology platform of WCAIS and improve the user experience. That project is now continuing with more screens being transformed to the new platform. We are confident that you will find it easier and quicker to navigate the transformed screens. The digital transformation project will eventually encompass all of WCAIS. We hope your experience with these screens will leave you excited for the rest of the transformation. Thank you, and I will now turn things over to the WCAIS training team.
First, I will provide an overview of digital transformation. We will then do a deep dive on a few of the impacted screens and have a few demonstrations to showcase the new user experience. To conclude, we will review important reminders and next steps. Up first is the digital transformation overview. When the digitally transformed screens go live, only certain screens will have a different look and feel. The rest of the screens in WCAIS will remain unchanged. The impacted sections include entry of appearance, healthcare services, and correspondences. The steps used to complete your WCAIS activities will not be changed. However, the screen design is now updated. The digitally transformed screens will primarily be accessed through specific items in the WCAIS menu. Most of the links on the dashboard will continue to navigate to screens as they currently display. There are new screen functions, buttons, and icons that will be universal across all digitally transformed screens. We will show these during our demonstrations later in the session. At the top of each screen, you will see a green button that will allow you to expand or collapse the WCAIS menu. Additionally, the Enhanced Search section will continue to be available. Currently, a green Go button would be pressed to use Enhanced Search. Now you can enter information and then press the magnifying glass icon. Furthermore, you will have options to log out and a question icon to access the Customer Service Center. Buttons are now colored to indicate the type of response you can expect when it is pressed. They are also located strategically to make tasks more intuitive to complete. A blue arrow button will now display in the bottom right when you scroll to the bottom of a screen. Pressing this button will automatically scroll you to the top of the screen. Certain processes will display a progress bar which will show which sections have been completed, which section you are currently on, or which sections are not yet started. The use of icons will increase to allow users to quickly view a screen and select the correct action. Using the Search Correspondences screen, let's take a look at some of the functions which will be available on all digitally transformed screens. Notice that some overall layout changes have been made. The WCAIS menu is now located on the left-hand side, so it can be accessed anytime while scrolling through a screen. If you wish to collapse the menu, the green button with 3 lines in the upper left will allow you to collapse the menu so only the icons are visible. Moving across the top of the screen, the WCAIS logo can now be pressed to navigate back to the WCAIS dashboard. The arrow next to the user's name can be selected to log out of WCAIS. Additionally, the Customer Service Center can be accessed by pressing the question mark icon in the upper right. As Internet Explorer is no longer supported by Microsoft, using a different internet browser will allow for optimal performance of the WCAIS application, particularly the new digitally transformed screens. When accessing WCAIS, please use either Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Mozilla Firefox. Also, due to the flexible design that will adjust to your browser size, you may find it beneficial to zoom in or out on digitally transformed screens to be able to see more information on the screen. Also, this could allow you to increase the font size for easier reading. There are various ways to zoom in or out, but a few options include pressing the Control key and then the plus or minus key on a PC. Similarly, on an Apple keyboard, you may press the Command key and the plus or minus key. Another option to adjust the zoom is to access the browser settings. Press the three dots in the upper right corner of the browser to display the settings menu. Then use the Zoom menu item. At this time, we will go through some of the digitally transformed screens. The first screen we'll look at is the Change Profile screen. You can see that the same information continues to display, but with a new look and feel. Note that the menu has been collapsed on the left-hand side. It can still be navigated even when closed. If you hover over an icon, the description of that menu item will display, and you can click through the necessary drop-down selections. Additionally, if you are scrolled down on any digitally transformed screen, you will continue to have access to the Enhanced Search feature in the upper right corner. Currently, you would need to scroll back to the top of the screen to use this feature. As mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, most items on the WCAIS dashboard will not lead to a digitally transformed screen at this time. The exception is on the Search Correspondences link. This will navigate to the Search Correspondences screen, which has been digitally transformed. As a note, on this search, you will have the ability to select dates between which a correspondence has been received. You can either enter the date directly into the text field, or you may press the calendar icon. When you select a date, that date will display inside of a blue circle. There will be another circle on the calendar which is green. This indicates what the current date is. Another new feature of digitally transformed screens is the flexible design. For instance, on this slide, you can see the same search results twice. The top screenshot is the search results on a small screen, whereas the middle screenshot here displays the same search results grid, but on a larger screen. The screens will now adjust to fit the browser size that you are using. Last, once you select the document type link, a View Correspondence screen will display where you may either select the document title link or the download icon to view the selected document. Now, we will provide a demonstration of the process to submit a utilization review request. You'll begin by navigating to Healthcare on the WCAIS menu bar, Utilization Review, and File an Application for Utilization Review. Now, to begin, we're going to first show you a couple new features that you'll see on all WCAIS digitally transformed screens. So the first one is the menu bar. Currently, the menu bar displays across the top of the screen and now displays on the left. And if you wish to collapse the menu, you can do so by pressing the green button, which will collapse the menu so that only the icons will display. Now you're still able to navigate through the use of those icons. So if you wish to search, you can still do so by using the menu. And if you are unsure what a specific icon means, you can hover over that icon and a small pop-up will display. If you want to navigate back to the WCAIS dashboard from a digitally transformed screen, you can either press the home icon or you can press the WCAIS logo. Both will navigate you back to the WCAIS dashboard. In the upper right-hand corner, if you need to log out of a digitally transformed screen, you can press the down arrow and you'll have the logout option. And if you need to go to the Customer Service Center, the question mark icon in the upper right will take you there. You will also be able to use the enhanced search from any digitally transformed screen, but a new feature about that is that if you scroll down on any screen, you will still have access to the enhanced search no matter where you are on the screen. Likewise, you will still be able to navigate the WCAIS menu anywhere on the screen. So this should serve to help you navigate between screens more quickly. Also, if you scroll down on any screen, a blue arrow will begin to display in the bottom right corner. If you press that one time, it will scroll you immediately to the top of the screen. Just a couple of features that will serve to make navigating between WCAIS screens more quick for you. Now, the first step to a utilization review request is to press the Start a New Utilization Review Request button. Next, you will associate a claim. You can do so by either entering claim information in the top search bar or using the specific search fields in order to search for information about the claim. So I'll start out by entering my claim number. And then pressing the Advanced Search button. Once you have found the correct claim, you can associate by pressing the blue Associate button. At the top of the Submit Utilization Review Request screen, you'll see the matter information displayed. If you no longer wish to see all of the matter information, you can collapse this section by pressing the up arrow that displays beneath it, and then only the claim number will display. That will serve to provide some additional room for you to work below. However, if you do need to see the claim information again, you can press the Matter Information button beneath the claim number, and it'll display again for you. Also, at the top of the process, you'll see a progress bar. The item that is highlighted in blue indicates that that is the section that you are currently working on, and any gray sections are the ones that have not yet been completed. So we'll begin by adding a provider under review by pressing the Add Provider Under Review button. Now note, this is a blue button. Blue buttons indicate that the process that you're about to complete is a step within the overall screen. So there's a separate screen that we're going to navigate to in order to complete that process, but pressing the blue button and following that process will not complete the entire step of the progress bar. At the very end of the screen, we see this Save and Continue button. That's a green button. Green buttons mean that they are the primary, most important button on the screen, and that will continue on to the next screen that you need to complete. There are also gray buttons. Gray buttons may be back, cancel, clear, anything that might remove you from a process or remove information. Those will display in gray, and those also are displaying on the left-hand side of the screen so as to avoid you accidentally pressing them and losing information. Now back to adding a provider under review, we'll begin by pressing the blue button. And then it'll navigate us to a screen to be able to search for a healthcare professional. I'm going to begin by searching for their name. And then once they are found, you can check the box for that specific healthcare professional, multiple if needed, and then press the Select and Continue button. Once the appropriate provider under review has been added, you can use the action icons if you need to change the address or delete the provider. Action columns will now display icons to indicate the type of action that is being provided. For this instance, an edit icon and a delete icon. Then you're going to enter information into the required fields. You can tell that they are required based on the red required that displays next to them. And you can also notice that these fields are displaying in white. White fields mean that you are able to edit them, whereas gray fields cannot be changed. These can be looked at but not edited from this screen. So now we'll enter information for all of our required fields. And then, once all fields are complete, we'll press the Save and Continue button. Here you can see in the progress bar that the Treatments to be Reviewed section is now highlighted with the blue circle. The Providers under Review section has a green check mark that indicates that all information has been added to that section. And then the Certification section displays a gray circle, again indicating that that section has not been completed yet. Next, we'll press the appropriate provider under review from the drop-down menu, and then enter the treatment to be reviewed. And then select the start and end date of treatment. Now, you can either enter the start date and end date directly into the field by typing it, or by pressing the calendar icon. So if we press the calendar icon, a pop-up will display. A green circle will display to indicate the current date, and then whenever we press a date, it will display in blue to indicate that is the date that we have selected. And then complete the additional necessary items. Once all required items have been completed, press the Add button. And then the treatment will display within the Treatment to be Reviewed grid. Again, if you need to make any changes, you can press the Edit icon. If you hover over it, you can see that it'll display Edit, or Delete in order to start again. And then, to continue on to our final section of the process, we're going to press Save and Continue. For the final step in our process, we'll finalize the certification section. Begin by pressing the Certify checkbox, and then indicate a manner of service for each party. Then, to complete the process, you'll press the Submit button. At this time, if you wish to go back through each section of the process and verify the information, you would be able to use the Back button in order to step back through each step of the process. If you're ready to submit, you can press the OK button. Then a confirmation screen will display. If you wish to view the UR request information, you can press the Here link. If you want to print this page for your own records, you can press the Print button, or if you are done, you can press the Return to Dashboard button. Now we will cover a few more slides. Before completing the request for designation of a physician to perform IRE, a claim must be associated. The same information that is currently required will continue to be necessary prior to submitting. If you attempt to submit a request without filing the mandatory fields, an error message will display next to the field. In this case, it states, "This field is required," and the field will be outlined in red. If this field is empty, you will not be permitted to submit. Following a successful submission, a confirmation will display similar to the screen we looked at during our demonstration. Next, looking at the Redesignate Physician screen, links will display in the Matter Information section. By selecting one of these, you will navigate to the claim summary or the IRA request for designation. This may be helpful if you require additional information prior to filing the redesignation. You will continue to select a reason for which the redesignation needs to occur, and these are radio buttons, which means that only one option may be selected. On the impairment rating evaluation appointment process, you can see what the matter information looks like when it is expanded. If you wish to collapse this section so it will take up less space, the up arrow can be selected beneath it. To view more information about the claim, the plus icon in the upper right corner of the screen can be pressed so that an extra set of details will display beneath the current items displayed. Also, an eye icon will display next to a number of fields and headers. These can be pressed to display a small pop-up which provides additional information about that section. Pressing it a second time will collapse the pop-up. This is the next step in the IRA appointment process, and here you can see what the matter information section will look like when it is collapsed. You are still able to see the claim number or whichever matters are listed in this section. In order to see the expanded section, press Matter Information again. Now we'll provide a demonstration of the response to a letter of investigation process. First, begin by pressing the Med Fee Response link in the Quick Links. Then, either use the search criteria in order to search for the correct med fee review, or you can scroll down to the bottom and find the med fee review list. I'm going to collapse the menu on the side so we can see more of the med fee review list. If you want to be able to view the entire med fee review list at one time, you can zoom out to be able to view the entire grid. To do so, you can press the Control key and minus, and then the entire grid will display within the browser. If you instead wanted to view information a bit larger, you can do so by pressing Control and plus in order to zoom in on the screen. Now I'll take us back to our normal zoom level and press the MFR number. Then you can review the Insurer med fee review details. Make the appropriate selections for each of the questions provided, and then you can open up the list of bills. You'll see a plus and a minus icon. If you want to collapse this further so that the list of bills does not display, you can press the minus icon and that will collapse, or press the plus icon and then the plus icon under the bills. And then you'll be able to enter the insurer response for each of these service dates. Once the insurer response has been added for each section, you can move on to the miscellaneous med fee response section and enter the necessary information. If in certain cases you have a lot of information here and you want to be able to view all of it without needing to scroll, we'll show an example here of what that might look like to have a lot of information displayed. So if there's a lot of information and you don't want to have to scroll up and down to view all of it, you can click and drag this bottom right corner in order to view all of the information without needing to scroll. Next, you can press the Upload Document button in order to upload any necessary documents. press the document type and select the appropriate type of document, and then press the Browse button. Select the appropriate document and then press Open. Then you can press the Upload button, and that document will display within the Uploaded Documents section. If you wish to check to verify that that is the document you meant to upload, you can click the document type link in order to open that document. If you should find that it's not the document that you did want to upload, using the Action menu, you can press the Delete icon in order to get rid of that uploaded document. Then, once you've reviewed all the additional information, you can press the Submit button in order to submit your response. Now, we'll take it back over to the presentation to run through a couple of more slides. Now, we'll cover important reminders and next steps. As a reminder, the screens will be digitally transformed in November 2022. The PowerPoint presentation we reviewed during this session was distributed via email and includes additional reference slides. In addition, a user experience guide was distributed via email to provide a quick reference for WCAIS users to better understand the new look and feel of the digitally transformed screens. Please review both the presentation and the user experience guide when your schedule permits. Should you have any questions regarding WCAIS digital transformation or the new screens, please contact the BWC Helpline for assistance.